All right, we should be live.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Fernan. Right away this time. Awesome.
That's why we love
Alright.
Fernan.
All right, can I get
Check,
a...
check.
I can.
Hey.
Check.
Perfect. Is everybody there?
I was here once.
You were here once. Only once.
One time.
That's all we get, huh?
Every time it's a different version of me from another alternate reality.
I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, then I took an arrow to the knee.
I feel like that would make it easier to play Dungeons & Dragons because you don't have to go anywhere.
Oh.
All right. Who wants to do a recap?
When we last left our heroes, they exited the portal in the capital city. And then they went to the king and queen, and they told them about all the stuff that was happening. And then they said, come back later, because we got to get some peeps together for this. And then they went shopping and selling, and they found there was a jerk guy that was selling magic items for the price that they should be sold for, but we didn't like that. And then there was a lady that really liked dragons, and she was really cool. And then the tavern got sold that Talamh had to deal with, and it's failing now because the guy sucks, and now we're going back to the king and queen.
All right. That was very succinct and awesome. Thank you.
I don't know. I don't think I missed anything. Did I miss anything?
The guards that were being jerks.
Oh, yeah. There were guards that were jerks.
P.S.
P.S. Postscript. I don't know what voice that was. It was almost a Chris from Family Guy, but not quite.
It was
kind of like Chris Farley.
It was a little Chris from Family Guy. It was a little Krillin in there that I heard.
It was as if Chris from Family Guy was trying to do a Chris Farley impression.
Yeah, I'll give you that
Yeah.
one.
That's fair.
It's gonna be a day.
And I wonder if we'll run into anyone else whose name is Knudnert. That was the gnome's name.
Yeah.
Oh hey, you got it updated! Yay!
I did. I managed to get it just in time. So, thankfully, I actually kind of know what I'm doing these days. Been doing this long enough. All right. So, we had left off that it had been about just starting to about be evening, and you had gone to the back to the castle, and up the stairs, winding your way up to a tower, and entering a magical field that had no apparent effect on the party. And as you step into the room, you can see Queen Terna, King Erenel. You see the three people from the court, Erenel, who you had most of your dealings with, the bronze dragonborn, the female gnome, and the elf. And then there is a somewhat familiar looking halfling. You've seen him once before. A dwarf and a human. Male dwarf, female human.
Does someone announce us as we walk in, or do we just walk in?
You were being escorted, I believe.
Yes.
By Erenel. Was he escorting you, or
I thought it was just a
random
normal guard
guard
this time. Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Random guard number 86.
So yes, the guard doesn't even enter. He just holds the door open, and they are. You see these people. Both the king and the queen are dressed much more informal, and everybody is gathered around a large table in the center of this tower, on which there is a map of the continent.
Okay.
And they turn and look at you as you walk in the room.
Hello.
King answers, yes, good evening.
Evening.
Please, gather round. We have much to discuss, and I fear time ticks away from us and moves away from our ability to get a handle on this quickly.
Oh. We approach the table.
All right. Lionel steps up and says, yes, you have met Kelniana, the female gnome, and Eliel already. They are on the court of the king and queen. This gentleman is General Darkshield, and he is the general to the king's army. And this is Ser Duststone, and she is the general to the king's guard here in the castle.
Pleasure to meet you all.
Are those? Oh, well.
Wish
I'll
we were under
watch
better
again for the
circumstances.
names.
Oh, yeah, I can get you that. General Darkshield. And Sir Dust. Oh, come on, type. There we go.
So everybody, male or female, is a sir
Yes.
if they're a knight.
I'm a tabaxi now.
Hmm.
Meow, meow, meow,
Wait.
meow, meow, meow.
You're a ginger tabaxi, which means you would have no soul.
The old man's finally lost it. Get him out of here.
Wait. First Oliver's a kinku, and now Ser Ridire's a tabaxi? Wait.
Oh, the whole party gets polymorphed. Chaos
Ridire takes off his helmet. He's actually tabaxi. He's like, what? He's taken off his helmet before.
Yeah, that was that anti-magic field we stepped through. Wait, am I secretly a badger?
Badger.
Damn it, it's in my head. It's in my head.
All right, so
In your head.
Yep, that too.
Badger.
D&D,
Badger.
D&D. So,
Who
Yeah.
are those knights?
Yep, I'm happy.
so what's the what are we gonna discuss? What's the plan?
Yeah.
So the king asks you to relay the information that you've presented to the council and the king and queen, and relay that to the generals.
Okay. I'm just gonna
For the
fast
sake of
forward and say
brevity,
we
we
do
do
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, all three of us, and I'm assuming Panda as well. All four. Yeah, four of us. I can count. Are on the same page on that one.
Yep.
So, yes, you relay the information, and they look intently. The dwarf starts pacing quite dramatically, while the Duststone, and really a dumb name to give somebody with to have somebody say who has a lisp. That is all on me. Said, she's just staring intently and balancing a dagger and doing kind of like the coin flip between the knuckles, but like flipping a small throwing blade.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
And you get done relaying that, and the dwarf pipes up with, well, I've heard enough. We need to get going and take the fight to them.
I couldn't agree more.
So point me in the right direction, and I'll start leading the troops.
If it is amicable for everyone, I would like to scry again on Bilthy and see an update on the status of everything.
And that's when the halfling that has been kind of off in the corner, out of the way, chimes up, and you recognize this as the halfling that met you at the teleportation entrance.
Oh, it's that dude.
Yep.
Okay.
And says, yes, these enchantments should keep any blowback from a scry spell gone awry. Even if they notice you scrying on them, they should not be able to trace it back to us, and therefore keep our conversations safe.
Excellent. Okay, so if everyone's agreed, I'll scry on Acolyte again.
I hear no
Well, wait a
complaints
second.
from the gallery.
Wait a second. Let me check one thing. Because maybe it would be better for me to just scry on Bilthy itself.
Creature.
Instead of targeting a creature, you can choose a location you have seen before as the target of the spell. When you do, the sensor appears at the location and doesn't move. And
Okay.
I feel like that one doesn't have a roll. So you could observe a location without having to roll, but you wouldn't, it'd be like a just overview. You wouldn't hear anything unless someone was right next to wherever the sensor appeared at. Whereas if you scry on a person, you can hear and what they're saying and kind of see what they're doing specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So I will, so I can only cast this once per day. Would you like me to scry on Acolyte, this leader of the cult as I did before, which could be resisted? Or should I scry on the city of Bilthy to get just a rough overview of what the situation looks like?
So, quick question with that. Does it work on a specific location, or does it work on like could it be a city?
It says a location that you have seen before.
Right, but does that refer to like a spot? Like, oh, we've been to this inn, so it'll be like this table I sat at the inn. It says the sensor appears at that location and doesn't move.
It's very vague, so that would be DM's discretion.
I'm looking up to see if...
I feel like the more vague the area you define, the wider vantage view it gives you with less detail. So if I said Bilthy, it would appear way up in the air, so I can see the whole town. I could probably see vague movement of if there's people moving around, but I wouldn't be able to pick out specific people moving around in the city. You know what I mean? That's the way I kind of envisioned it. And if I chose like, oh, X tavern, it would show me the interior of that tavern. If I said, oh, the marketplace of a city, it would like hover over and just kind of show me the marketplace. That's the way I kind of envisioned it, but...
So, yeah, pretty much. So, saying a specific location that is very detailed is going to get you kind of a security camera view of that place. So, saying a tavern, it's going to be kind of a centralized location that you can see most of the tavern in. Going smaller than that, you're probably going to get a really detailed look at something, like, I want to scry on the desk of my home.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hyper-focused. Saying a city is going to be very similar to, like, even farther than that, because you're looking, like, if you were to say a,
coming in for a landing on the airplane, so you see the city down below you, kind of.
Yeah, if you were to say a district, like if you said Canal Village, that would get you a pretty decent of the, like, through the cloud cover, seeing more detail of bigger objects moving to and from. Saying a city is going to be kind of more of a Google Map overview.
But with the added advantage of being live feed.
Yes.
Added advantage of being live feed. Sorry, Curiosity, thank you. I put it up to eat, and I forget to put it back down sometimes. So, seeing the city should let me see if the attack has commenced. It should give me enough information for that. But if we want to potentially maybe hear more, we would want me to scry on Acolyte. I'm putting this forward to, like, the whole council, like the king and queen and everything, what they would prefer.
Yep.
Technically, if the halfling, if one of the other people is a spellcaster, they could probably scry on just the city in general. And then I could try and get information from Acolyte.
Yeah, I don't want to railroad, so I'm going to leave this more up to the other two to have their opinions, and then I'll...
Okay. What do you guys think?
Let's see. If we were to scry on Acolyte, and they're in the middle of an attack, then we would know the city's being attacked. If they've packed up and left, we would know the city has already been attacked. But if she's still in her tent, then they haven't, and we could get to know what they're planning.
My only concern is that there's a chance it could fail. She could resist the scry.
Roll an Arcana check.
And then we would get nothing. Let me get my character sheet open. Arcana, I have such a good Arcana. That's a 14.
Okay. That's enough to know that the last time you scryed, it was really easy.
Okay.
Just based off of your familiarity with her and having the dagger.
Yeah, that's like a -4 to her, like, DC or the save, right?
I think it was more than that. I think
it was more than that.
Like a
it was like -9 or something that she got.
A body part, lock of hair, bit of nail, or the like is -10.
Well, because I had
or garment is -4.
He gave us familiar knowledge of the target, which is a -5.
Okay, fine,
and then I had her dagger,
9.
which is a -4. Yeah.
-9 total.
All right. So I think we're all agreed that I should just scry on her then.
I think so, because that would let us know if she's somewhere else. Because if we just get Bilthy, we don't know if she's still there.
Yeah, we would just know if the battle was ongoing or something. All right, I will attempt to scry. I will kind of sit in a meditative stance, and I will scry on Acolyte.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Oh, no, she does the wisdom.
No, she rolls.
That's right. Okay.
And then I will basically narrate everything I'm seeing kind of trance-like as it happens for the whole group.
I figured as much.
I kind of think that we just do it that way to make it easier for for everybody to get the information. It just makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. All right, wisdom saving throw.
Hey guys, I make us all more resistant to scrying.
I'm guessing she failed that one.
She roll a 1.
Did she Bieber it up?
Was it that reaction's
Beeps.
either a 1 or a 20, and there's no in between.
Well, the best part is, even unless a nat 20 is an automatic success, which it could be, but if not, the -9 would still make it fail my spell save. So.
Huh. Yeah.
I'm just gonna point out that she scored a 0.
Oh.
So she rolled less than a 9, whatever she rolled.
So, just out of me, is a nat 20 on that would it be an automatic success?
No.
Even if it's like, okay. Huh, we can't fail to scry on her.
Yeah.
Well, but if she had a really high,
can.
if she
You
had a
can.
really high bonus, that would counteract my negative. Like if she had like a plus, if she had +5 for a really high wisdom, and then had proficiency in wisdom saving throws, she could potentially have a +9, and then
I
counteract
guess
my
that's true.
minuses entirely. But I don't think she has that high of wisdom because she was like a rogue sorcerer kind of character. So
Don't underestimate her.
True, but I
She
don't
had
think
a
wisdom was her primary stat.
Long time in the Feywild. A long time.
She leveled up on boars in the forest.
No!
So she's going to be even more pissed when we kill her.
Yeah, yes, if that happens, she will be.
She doesn't get mercy anymore, so Ridire's not holding punches next time we fight her. Which would have killed her in our first interaction.
Yeah, I'm really glad you did that. I didn't want to have to make another big bad.
Third time he has to make a new bad guy because we keep killing them too quickly.
I mean, so far you faced off against the minions, not the big bad.
Okay.
But
We'll kill the big bad too.
all right, well, as you close your eyes and go into that meditative state, same motion that you're familiar with now. Now that this is the third time you've scryed, you're less shocked by the way your vision moves out of the city of Bilthy and hovers over before transporting in a northeasterly direction and zooming in on a familiar war tent.
That's a good sign to begin
Roll
with.
me a perception check with disadvantage.
And my shield does not provide me advantage in this scenario, right?
Correct.
7.
7? Okay. Yeah, it moves too fast for you to make out any of the detail of the city itself. As it is, it does seem to be a siege and is not directly in the city. You do manage to get that much.
So, the city at least doesn't seem to have fallen yet, but it might be under significant pressure.
So you come, the movement stops, and the familiar sight of Acolyte, this fox-like lichen, more fox in nature than werewolf, but still obviously a lycanthrope. You see her pacing back and forth. Very bored 8-year-old style. Just kind of antsy, not pacing, not agitated, but just antsy. And next to her is the slightly scarred other lichen that she has called Schlegel.
Schlegel.
And they are sitting in a couple of chairs. She's, getting up and kind of moving around a little bit more than just sitting. You see Schlegel sitting, spear perched across one shoulder and just kind of impatiently tapping the end of it on the ground. And in front of them is a woman, human looking in nature, tanned complexion with dark black hair tied in a neat bun. And she's wearing a gorgeous black cocktail dress that has highlights of purple on it. And she's standing in front of them, very poised, very proper, but still in a respectful demeanor to her, not defiant in any way. And you can see behind her is a pair of goblins dressed in crude tuxedos. Mm-hmm. And she speaks Acolyte's the first one you hear, and says, you've come a long way. Let's hear what you have to say. Get on with it. And her response smiles like you do to a child who's, just, I'm gonna be nice to you, but you're beneath me, kind of smile. And says, of course. I wanted to come and I received word of Cardinal Dorn's ascension, and obviously I wish to pass my fealty on to the new rightful leader. I wish to pass an invitation to you, and hopefully Cardinal Dorn, if he is able to attend. Obviously, he's very busy in this time. But my home is always welcome to you, and in just under a month's time, I will be having one of my gatherings at my home. You're welcome to come and pay us a visit, and perhaps we can show you some of our trinkets that obviously you're very powerful and well equipped, but maybe we have something that you could use. And Acolyte again, just getting nervous and anxious at waiting, and the niceties just... Okay, thank you. Yes, we will be there as soon as we are done with this stupid city and getting what we need. We will make an appearance. And she bows low and says, I appreciate your meeting with me and taking the time, and may the Sanguine Saints rule for a long time. And with that, she turns and starts to leave, and about that time, your vision fades and jumps back to the Tower of Bilthy.
You mean
Byfeld.
I'm calling it now. It's Sriracha in disguise.
All right, so you relay that information.
Mm-hmm.
The Talamh.
Aye.
Roll a perception or an insight check. Sorry.
Insight. I never get to roll insight.
I know. This is technically off your passive, but and you have advantage because you're reading body language and all that with.
Oh
your
my
ability.
gosh, that's a nat 20.
So that's a nat 20. The queen is visibly distraught. She's doing her best to hold it in, but you can see the description of the person the minute the physical description was read and how she was presenting herself. Her heartbeat increased rapidly, and the worry just became apparent in how she's holding herself.
Her heart rocket is skyrocketing.
Queen Terna, you seem a bit agitated.
Yes, well, I believe I know who that lovely individual is.
Oh? Well, spit it out, please.
Watch your tone, young one.
I said please.
Yes, you did. So much disrespect in such a rude, vile family. That most likely is Francine Zamed. She is of noble birthright, owns an estate outside the city of Habrick. Oh, misspelled my own stuff. Her grandfather or great-grandfather, it's hard to remember after all these years, came to visit us when we took Ascension and gained the crown, and told us that he would, well, basically that he was to be left alone and that he would not bend the knee, but in a respectful way, as one can be.
So they suck, in short.
Ser Ridire, that's putting it mildly. It's not a surprise that they've gone in with the usurpers, or want to be usurpers, but it is unfortunate. They hold lots of power in the northeasternly area of the continent.
Sounds like we need to go up and change some power dynamics.
Sounds like my kind of party.
Ridire and Talamh start cracking their necks. Well, In any case, it does seem that the city has not fallen yet. So we may have time to mount a greater defense or a counteroffensive.
Do they have any sort of teleportation circle in that town?
The dwarven general speaks up. Unfortunately, they're too small to have a teleportation circle built in. Gorkill would, and it's not a long journey there, so we've discussed the possibility of sending troops into Gorkill and making our staging ground.
I mean, that's probably a good idea just in the nature of defending Gorkill and trying to keep a presence in the northeast, as it seems they might have a higher concentration there. Is there any way to get into Bilthy? Talamh, is there a fey tree up there?
I think for a moment, and Chuck, is there a fey tree up there?
Let me double check. It's been a while since I've had to bring up the Feywild.
You explicitly told me I know where all the fey trees are.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
There's a fey tree in Bilthy. It's like,
Oh, well. If there was a fey tree in Bilthy, I'm pretty sure the wolves would have used it.
Oh, that's true. They would have absolutely used it to get inside.
Oh, come on,
Gosh.
computer.
I wish we had the teleport spell, not just teleportation circle. Is there a high level mage in Bifeld that knows teleport? I will pay him quite handsomely, or her, quite handsomely.
Bifeld does have quite a few magicians, and well, you had mentioned looking for the so-called Generals of Enoth, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. So, Talamh, there is not a fey tree in Bilthy. The nearest one is... I'm gonna bamf you guys over to the continent map. So...
Ooh, that map is much smaller. Okay.
The nearest one would be either here or, where you guys ended up in.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, then we might as well go to Gorkill then.
Yeah.
Dang it, I was really hoping we could get into Bilthy and just, help a defense. Because, trying to attack the whole army would be rough. But all three of us, our talents together, defending in a siege...
If we were level 13, we could transport via plants straight into Bilthy.
Darn.
But we're not.
We're going to go into the Feywild. Alright? And we're going to use our rings to set 1 year in the Feywild is 1 second in the real world. And we're going to kill some boars. And then when we're level 20, we're come back.
Can we just do a training montage and be level 20?
Training montage to level 20 in the Feywild. We'll have the Lord of the Hunt just take us out hunting with him.
Yeah, see?
We'll level up. He'll power level us.
The Lord of the Hunt loves me.
Yeah. He's our bro.
It's not my place to say no. If this is what you guys want to do and want to power level to level 20, you're going to end the campaign pretty damn quick, but I mean, if that's the route you want to do, I'm not going to say no.
What he's saying is it is technically possible.
I'm saying it's very much possible if you want to do that. I'm just saying you will end the campaign.
But then we could play Black Label.
If that's what you want to do, and free up my weekend from writing...
I mean, it would still take a few sessions, because we'd have to hunt everyone down. But being level 20, there wouldn't really be any combat trouble anymore.
We would just, like, steamroll through.
I would have resistance to all damage, so...
He's just gonna add a Tarask in every location.
Got us 3 at level 20, we would absolutely wreck a Tarask.
2 Tarasks.
No. Let's not cheat it that much.
Okay, but like it would be levels, fun. Though?
Just to level 13.
Maybe a little more. I could fly in like
15, level 15.
No, never mind. It would be too many. It would be too many levels. It would be basically like I think 17.
Technically, I can fly. I could fly now if I wanted to.
I think
with your beast shape, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, oh yeah, no, I can fly. It's just a concentration spell. So
wait, can you turn into a giant eagle?
I might be able to.
We could teleport into Gorkle, and then you could fly us into Bilthy.
Problem is, I can't see anything in the air.
I will be your eyes. Bank left.
It's like the most dangerous airplane ride.
Yeah, the airplane ride where your pilot is blind. That would...
Yeah.
No, wait, look! There's an acolyte below us! Drop me!
It's like a... What movie is that?
You give her the people's elbow.
Superman one.
People's elbow from 2,000 feet in the air. Just crunch.
From the atmosphere down to the earth. That'd be a power move. Drop in like that.
What's that? Oh, like Hancock?
Is that? I'm thinking of like Man of Steel that he does. What am I thinking? It's a Superman something where he drops like Doomsday.
That'd be
That's Batman versus Superman.
Batman v Superman.
He just drops him from like at the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a second, guys. Wait a second.
Also, while we're waiting for Zero, you know the biggest plot hole in that movie?
That movie?
The entire movie?
Batman v Superman? Wonder Woman should have used the spear.
Yeah, she could have done it.
Like, she's not... Kryptonite's not her weakness. She could have done it.
It was... They had to have Superman die to Doomsday, and they're bad writers, and they didn't know how to make it happen organically. So they had to have him suicide bomb. Guys, how many hit points do I have? 110.
110.
Fall damage maxes out at 20d6. Maximum damage is 120. So statistically, you could drop me onto somebody, and I would survive the impact. Because it's statistically not going to roll max damage on all of those dice.
So, I just realized something. If I turn into an eagle, and then I wild-shaped into Armor of Earth in the air, I cannot die from fall damage.
I can cast Fly. So what I'm hearing is we can all power drop from the sky onto some poor unsuspecting victim.
Can you imagine we just we just Goomba stomp her from 2,000 feet?
Acolyte's like, haha, we're going to attack the city finally. Just Ridire. Oh. Guts on my shoes.
cue the immigrant songs. Led Zeppelin just starts playing.
And just for so we can smite on top of that, like he like hits her with his sword.
Would landing on her count as a melee attack?
Yeah.
Because I don't have to use my sword.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I can just smite on a melee attack.
So what you're telling me is, as a paladin, I could actually make Iron Fist.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What we're saying is, Oliver casts Fly on Ridire. Ridire flies up into the air. Oliver stops concentrating. ASMR Missile of Death.
Good idea.
Oh boy.
Guys, I think we came up with a new combo move. All right. Anyways, back to what's actually happening in the game world.
This isn't happening?
Not yet.
Have we been discussing this in front of the king and queen?
Yes.
Like all the different things that we could do to like.
Yes.
Oh.
To get into Bilthy and to drop on top of the enemies.
Insane. It's
It'll be
in
like
game, and he's like, fall damage maxes out.
Well, no, what I'm doing is I'm doing the math. Terminal velocity is, and if I spread eagle, I can lower my speed by this amount, and statistically should be able to survive the drop.
I mean, but you're so old. I don't think your knees could take it.
Oh, I'll roll. I'll roll and absorb some of the impact.
Just a quick double jump, and it should be.
You know,
fine.
it's like the parkour people.
Meanwhile, the human knight, human general, is busy taking notes. And all the court of the king and queen are busy trying to figure out how to get defenses built so that if a enemy tries to figure this out, it's not a problem.
Guys, I'm just imagining now, if you have a bunch of like 12th level dwarf fighters, they can survive that fall damage. So, orbital drop shock troopers, bro.
Like, I'm just imagining the king and queen sitting here like, these are the people who are gonna save us.
And then at the same time, kind of like, these are the people who are gonna save us. No one else can conceive of this kind of stuff.
Gosh.
The king just looks at his wife and just says, "And this is why we hire adventurers, and not your run-of-the-mill knights. They're insane, which can be useful."
Are we insane, or are we like the Joker, and we're hyper sane?
I mean, I've got 2 sets of memories, so
We're so insane that it loops back around.
It loops back around to sanity, and then keeps going to insanity again. So we're twice insane.
All right. So what are we gonna do? We are going to
yeah.
Gorkle.
So we have Gorkle's the closest way, but they did say that there are spellcasters in the city.
Yeah, so he was going to say at one point,
before we got off track with tactics.
Oh man, that was... We're gonna have to go and cut that out. That, 54 minutes is the end of that. So write that down and put it in the, Discord, please. Because
You're actually gonna edit this one?
Oh, I'm gonna cut that out and save it as a clip.
All right. I've stuck it in D&D General.
Oh,
I
nice.
shouldn't have done that. I should have put it in stream, but whatever.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Plug for our Discord channel. Links are in our on our page. Come talk about what you see. It's kind of chaotic in there. I like it. Yeah. So at some point, the halfling chimes in and says, "You mentioned magic users, and the Gorkle is home to Your Majesty. Can I tell them?"
Oh, that's where the library is.
And he looks and says, very exasperated at this point. Yes, the library. There is a library in Gorkil. Lots of information. You may find what you're looking for there. Underneath the library, hidden to all but those basically in this room and those entrusted in Gorkil, is the records of the previous ages. And you may find what you're looking for there.
A magic user would be in the records? Oh, there might be record of a magic user.
Or
okay.
forbidden knowledge, hidden knowledge, things about the generals of Enoth that you may look up. Maybe, we don't know. But that is where we kept the records at.
That's definitely worth checking out at some point. I'm just trying to figure out how we can get into Bilthy to help defend it. That's my primary concern.
With saying that, Eliel, the elf, says, we shouldn't even focus on Bilthy. They've never wanted our help. We should be keeping our reserves here. We should be strengthening the capital for when the fight comes to us.
Well, if we have our way, the fight won't even be coming close to here.
I can't stand by while innocent people are being put to siege and killed, regardless of your political feelings towards them. You don't need to send people in. You can keep your troops here. I want to help the people of Bilthy. If you can aid me in doing that, perhaps we can stop this whole thing from ever coming close enough for you to need your troops to defend the capital.
Aye, the best defense is a good offense.
And trust me, we are a good offense.
I'm very offensive.
Ridire's just nodding.
Lionel, chimes in and says, the smaller cities need our help.
Okay.
And we need to focus on them. We need to send our troops into Gorkil and go liberate Bilthy as soon as possible.
Aye. Let's do it.
Roll a persuasion check, Ridire.
Okay.
Can I help?
Well, I want to, let me make sure I'm reading. Let me read this thing to make sure it works the way I'm thinking it works.
And what are we doing?
Yeah, I am going to use my channel divinity.
Okay.
Before I roll this, which gives me an additional +5 on my persuasion checks.
Okay.
And so there will be an additional +5 to this. So that's an 18, so it's a 23.
Okay.
23. Okay.
Good thing I used that bonus +5 because I rolled pretty low.
Hawaiian.
Aloha.
Right. Aloha. With a 23, the king has been taking all this in, and looks to the three of you and says, you three have faced these creatures head on. and come out of it better than most. Intact, mostly. I respect what you have said and for your advice, and that you appear to want the best interests of the realm, even if it means putting yourselves at danger. Because of this, I think we'll go with your plan. Liberating Bilthy seems to be a worthwhile endeavor. Therefore, we will gather our troops and start sending them to Gorkil. They will march as soon as they have gathered and are ready to meet the invaders. And hopefully, by striking at them while their back is to us and their focus is on Bilthy, we can deliver a blow to their ranks.
Let's do it.
Yes.
I am concerned about the dissenting forces, such as Francine Zamed, and I worry that we are not equipped to handle such beasts. More research needs to be done into these lycanthropes.
Silver. Have all of your men get silvered weapons.
We're aware of the silver. That is a lot of
I know.
silver.
Or enchanted weapons.
Yep, enchantments work as well.
Is there a monastery nearby where people can train very hard and get magical fists?
I have a suggestion. If you allow us and perhaps any small retinue of elite soldiers that you want to go forward first, to go into Gorkil and approach Bilthy, perhaps we can set up a fortification outside of Bilthy that we can essentially attack them on the tail and keep them focused while you build up a larger force.
I will not lie, that sounds like a suicide mission. But if you're successful, you could save the lives of many of our men. And you would move faster than a regiment to get to Bilthy quicker.
If we can find a good spot in the forest, we can make it very safe for us to defend and pull some of the attention from their horde.
You could.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay, I still get the +5 because it lasts for 10 minutes.
Yep.
So 29.
29!
I use my channel divinity. It allows me to add 5 to my roll.
Looks like you're being persuaded, Yugi. Sorry. Have you seen the If Uno was an anime video?
Yes.
The Wild Draw 4! Oh, that's so good.
I cast
He-
guidance.
Looks around the room and says, "And you, Quiet One, what are your thoughts?"
I do think that we should be focusing on Bilthy primarily, but there are other aspects of this and allies that they may have as well that we should also be aware of.
Such as?
Well, you've already mentioned that they have with them Francine Zamed, who seems to be allied with them, and if that is a threat, then that could end up biting us in the butt. But I think we need to very carefully weigh our options, because going in recklessly could end up with everyone dead and us all in a worse spot. So I think we need to really think about the strategy here to see if there's a way that we could deal with multiple problems all at once. Or if we can deal with multiple problems at once.
I concur.
It did seem to me that this Francine was not so much allied with them as trying to get on their good side because she thinks they're going to win. So if they were struggling severely, I highly doubt she would commit a lot of assistance to them. She seems to me the type who's going to play favor to whoever looks like they're on top at the moment.
But she also has a bone to pick with the king and queen.
Yes.
Which is
Well, she definitely needs to be dealt with. But I think if she sees the Sanguine Saints losing, she's going to be like, oh no, I was just protecting my people the whole time. That's why I was nice to them. You know, she's going to pull one of those.
Queen Terna chimes in at this point and says, she tends... The family, I don't know her specifically, but in the past the family was only looking for an excuse to rise up and revolt. And if she's anything like her something father, then she will be more than giddy at the prospect of a weakened empire due to a conflict, and may rise up on her own at some point. She will have to be dealt with.
Yes.
And she will not back down.
Well,
Granted, I have not met her, and she may be unlike her relatives. But from what you saw, I would like to see her dealt with.
Oh, we'll definitely deal with that.
There is also the fortification that they have in the mountains down to the south, which could also serve as a problem or a backup for them, perhaps. And maybe while they are attacking Bilthy, this encampment might be the root of the problem. They mentioned somebody named Cardinal... Is it Dorn? Dorn?
Dorn. D-O-R-N.
Okay. And he has ascended?
Whatever that
Which could be bad news. Especially if their entire army is being attacked, and perhaps more come from other places, and perhaps he comes as well.
Is there a fortification, a city in the south that you could also send troops to? Perhaps we could strike at some of their strongholds at all at once.
My thought process is, if we can scatter them, then they will not be able to unify against us.
Yes. If we can take a small force directly to Bilthy, if some more can fortify Gorkil in case they, try to go back that way. And if someone else could hit them in the south.
Like Occam.
The
Yes.
south concerns me a great deal.
Either Occam or Bai.
The ruins that you talked about exiting the Fey Tree in. We went back through some of our books, and we can all but confirm that that is Hoffeld, the once capital of the ancient rulers before Bilthy was before Bifeld was the seat of power.
Is that a different place from Haddonfeld?
No, it's called Haddonfeld and Hoffeld, depending on the time.
Ah.
Let me double
Well,
check.
then, so we were kind of
Let
right.
me double check that.
So if Occam has a large military force, maybe they could attempt to siege Haddonfeld. Another force could fortify Gorkil and start moving towards Bilthy, and we could take a smaller force towards Bilthy. And
Here's my concern. So
Yeah.
Alkalite is with one of them trying to get one of these artifacts, then who's with the other one? It would have to be somebody of equal power, right? Or just slightly below has to be leading this other attack because it's as important.
well, yeah, but if we, are you meaning like who would lead the
In
southern?
Haddonfield, there's two. There's two major players somewhere in this because I highly doubt that they would just send an army down to the south without some sort of major overseer.
Well, I think that's where their army originated from, and I think they marched up north, and they've left obviously a large force there, but I don't know that that's the bulk.
So they're garrisoned in in Haddonfeld,
Yeah,
primarily, and
if a military force was able to siege, like they don't even have to like super hard attack, just kind of surround Haddonfield,
Mm-hmm.
put some pressure on it the way they're doing to Bilthy right now.
Well,
Then if we can break the siege of Bilthy, because I'm assuming they probably have some way to communicate, sending or whatever to each other. They're gonna be starting to be like, oh crap, where are we gonna send our troops? They're gonna have to either go back, if they're gonna try and go back down to defend that, then their troops are gonna have to either go past Gorkil, which will then be fortified, or they're gonna have to go through the harder path there on the other side of the mountains. So if they try to go past Gorkil, and then another force is concentrated there, can hit them and stop them from retreating back, they're not going to be fortified then, and this force will be. They're going to be,
Right. Well, we still need to make sure that people can have equipment that can deal with werewolves.
Well, yeah. That's why I was saying we go forward with a small force and just try and pull attention off of Bilthy by antagonizing them guerrilla style, right?
I
And
say the
then,
king and queen commandeer the that store we went to, the Wand of Lightning. All the equipment there.
Everything from there. But yeah, then they can start fortifying. They can start silvering weapons and getting them issued to the troops. Those that already have them can head through first to start fortifying. That kind of stuff. We can buy some time for them and for Bilthy by pulling the attention of Acolyte and that force away somewhat. Us and, a few elite troops. Because I'm sure there's enough silvered weapons and magic weapons amongst their elites to, like some sort of special forces unit to easily be able to do that. Because this army King's Guard lady seems like she's itching to to get some action. So that's my thought process. But
the
obviously,
King's Guard, I will say, like the King's Guard is aptly named, that she will not be going anywhere.
No, but I'm sure there's some other elite forces that are relatively equivalent in combat training that are part of the main military.
The king does chime in and tells you, Haddonfeld was abandoned for a reason, and was lost in time for a reason. It was... The records show that it was nearly impossible to take back, even after the Emperor was slain, and our ancestors felt it better that it be lost in time than tried to recover. So I'm quite concerned about what may be lurking underneath that keep that you mentioned seeing.
Well, we're not saying anyone has to go in, they just have to lay siege to it from the outside.
But I feel like that is the place that they would retreat to. They have some sort of strength there. But we could chase them away from where they're attacking back to there. You know, kind of thing, or separate them from being able to get back. If we can get them to retreat from Bilthy, and your army can then capture the retreat, hit the retreaters near Gorkil, because I'm assuming they would retreat there, the more easy path.
We'll be the hammer, you'll be the anvil.
Yes, crush them between, and then we can reroute back to Haddonfield to try and deal with whatever the situation may be there, and then the military will already be somewhat focused up near Gorkil in case Francine, what's-her-face, decides to get her hands dirty. The military would already be in strength in that region. If some expeditionary forces, or there's other forces large enough to split to, siege Haddonfield, that could be fine. But if we could also make them believe that we don't know that they have a force there. They won't know. If we just are dealing with them in the north, they won't think that we know about that. And we can see how, if they're trying to retreat to it, or how they're going to act about that. They're either going to request reinforcements from there, which then you could head off, or they're going to retreat back to that if that is their stronghold. But if we can break the siege of Bilthy, and we can rout their troops, it will be far less effective on the run. Fun fact, historically in medieval battles, like 70% of casualties happened during the rout after the lines broke, not during the main battle itself. So that's what I'm trying to cause.
Any other thoughts before we make a plan?
We can wait for curiosity too.
Yep.
I don't know what you think, Panda.
I think that may be our best bet. It's either that or playing it really safe and going bit by bit.
But the problem is, if we go too slow, they're just going to take Bilthy, they're going to be able to strengthen themselves there, and then they're going to be coming in force in an attack in somewhere else.
We also need to keep in mind that we have half the puzzle.
Yes.
We have half of their stuff. So we probably shouldn't go to their home base until we're very confident that we can take it.
Yeah, that's why I don't want us to go right into Haddonfield.
Right.
But if we can break the siege of Bilthy, if we can take on if we can weaken their attacking force and force them into a defensive maneuver, that gives the king and queen and the military leaders a lot more room and time to figure out the next plan of attack, because now they're going to be retreating and trying to regroup. And if we manage to break the siege of Bilthy and they retreat towards Gorkil, and then the army has managed to build up right there, then we catch them in a sandwich, and the army just hits them as they're retreating, because they passed Gorkill, and so I'm assuming they think that no one really knows where their force is massed at, because they don't know that we freed Andusk, unless they've sent someone else down there, or at this point. But they don't know that we freed Andusk. They don't know that we're around even. They maybe know that there were some people that came out of the Fey Tree in Haddonfield, but they don't necessarily know who that was. And and we ran away, so they could assume that it could have just been almost anybody that just was like, oh crap, and then ran. Plus, we also made it seem like we ran back through the tree, remember? We opened the door back up. So theoretically, and most likely, we are an unknown factor. Acolyte knows we exist, but with all of the time travel nonsense, they either assume that we're gone or lost in the Feywild or something, probably. Unless they've also been scrying on us, but I can't be scryed on. So they would have to have scryed on one of you two if they were scrying on us.
Yeah, I think that might be your best bet.
Because if we can, get to, if there's like a forest edge near where their encampment is, I can cast my one spell from the armor. Crap, where's it at?
Druid Grove?
Yeah, I can create an area, Druid Grove, and which gives us a huge advantage because I can fill it with fog that we can see through and they can't, and I can hide a spike growth in there, so that Talamh doesn't have to concentrate on her own, or Talamh can also concentrate on one and we can have 2 spike growths, but I can make one that we are immune to, so we can stand in the spikes, our troops can stand in the spikes and just fight these guys who can't see us and have disadvantage on everything, and we can just keep luring them in. And then, and then I can have a teleportation circle prepped, like drawn out, that just needs the last rune drawn on. If things get too bad, I can run over, be like, haha, poof, and we can be in Gorkill. And then we can be like, how we got him a little bit, and then we can travel back and do the same thing from a different spot. Just keep needling them. But I'm thinking if we can use like some area tactics to our advantage, and we can like guerrilla warfare their back lines, it's gonna they're gonna still be focused on Bilthy, but they're going to have to change the way their strategy is working if they're getting needled on the back lines. And with our skills, we can take out nice little chunks of troops at a time, especially if we have a handful of extra people with, magic weapons, silvered weapons that are trained to help us out. Like, give us 20 guys with magical crossbows to hide back in the trees, and we get them running at us, and then we drop, and a bunch of crossbow bolts come flying out of the trees.
And all summon Wrath of Nature.
Yeah, I mean, just look at how the American Revolution worked.
Oh, how disrespectful.
Yes.
They refused to stand in line and trade volleys with us.
I mean, there was plenty of that, too.
We don't like the militia, but we do respect the Continental Army. They do try so.
Oh, we've lost.
Oh, curse you, Lafayette. Were it not for you, we would have our colonies back.
I don't know, at this point I'm kind of thinking, hey, England, take us back?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they're doing so great over there right now.
They're not.
They're not. They're having a rough time of it.
They have Boris Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I hear over in England they don't even The common man doesn't even vote for their own prime minister. He's assigned by the party in charge.
Yeah, I got some backwards nonsense too. All right, so are we liking this idea, or what's the final plan?
Liken.
Ha! Should we guerrilla warfare on these guys?
Probably a good option.
Technically, I could turn into a gorilla, so yes. Yes, it is.
Oh, wild shape is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Very
But for
well.
Chuck's sake, it'll be a fake gorilla.
Which just means it's purple.
It'll look like the beast from the Goosebumps book, Beast from the East.
Wow, that's a throwback.
I was also a child in the 90s.
Three of us were.
I was born in 99.
So technically...
No.
Oh, Beast from the East looks more like a bear.
Alright. So the King's has been taking all of this in. The advisors, everybody has been going back and forth. Probably about 2 or 3 hours has passed at this point. And most of this time, the King has been fairly silent, chiming in to offer a little bit of insight into the country that you guys wouldn't have. But after a long pause, he turns and just gives his wife a knowing look. And she rests a hand on his shoulder before... Dang it, curiosity, I read your comment.
Wait, which comment?
In the Twitch chat, that just threw me off. Hard stop on my brain after that. That was good. For those of you watching this after the fact on YouTube, would you like to say that out loud?
I was a child once. Then I drank a potion.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. Queen Terna speaks up and says, I believe we are in agreement then. We will start gathering our forces in Gorkil and preparing them for an assault on the forces outside of Bilthi. In the meantime, you will go ahead and cause whatever damage you can come up with, which seems creative and possibly not sanctioned by the crown.
Hey, you have full plausible deniability.
Very. And because of this, our troops are going to be needed here. However, there have been many adventuring parties in town who have expressed a desire for fame and fortune. Perhaps you could find some complimentary adventurers to your party, and we would be happy to provide the purse for their hiring at your discretion.
This could take way too long to round up a bunch of adventurers.
We need is a montage.
It's still gonna take way too long in game time. You gotta put up posters and put out calls and
We know of
people
one
meet
group.
up, or you gotta go around to the taverns on your own.
We know of one group. We know of a certain person's mother and sister So that's 6.
Yeah. We've just doubled our forces. Well, more. Yeah.
That'd be 200%.
More than doubled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can we get there in a decent time?
We can get back to. Oh wait, the town that we teleported out of that town.
We teleported out.
Gosh.
Apparently only the couple of big cities have teleportation.
You also took time to build a circle.
It's not permanent. You have to cast it every day in a place to make it permanent. For like a year.
That's right. It's a year of constant casting.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
How does teleportation work?
Teleportation's level 7, and it's literally, it can be anywhere. But then you have to roll a D100 based on like how well you know the place and stuff.
Oh.
I could get it, but I don't have 7th level spells for a while.
Yeah.
We'll go into the Feywild. We'll get 2 levels, and then I'll transport via plants.
Because if we had someone that was just very familiar with Bilthy, we would get near Bilthy and very likely into Bilthy if we could have someone that just teleported us. That's why I was trying to see if we could find someone that knew the teleport spell.
Gotta be some wizard in Byfeld that...
Yeah, it's the biggest city in the world, and there's not a wizard that they know that's really powerful.
Or at least on the continent. But yeah.
I mean... The Archmage could certainly try if you wanted to go that route.
I mean, it's worth a shot going to say hello.
Where's the Archmage?
It's the halfling with you guys.
Oh,
hey!
Yeah. Hey, do you know the teleport spell?
Well, I run the teleportation circle, don't I?
Okay, yes. Have you ever been to Bilthy?
Roll me a D100, somebody. We're gonna say...
Okay. You got it,
60% chance.
31.
So that was a 60% chance, so I was gonna do 0 to 60, so yes, he knows.
So, yeah. If he's been there, then you could say at the very least he has seen it casually, but could probably be considered very familiar. Oh no, very familiar is a place you've been very often, a place you have studied, or a place you can see when you cast the spell. Seen casually is some place you have seen more than once but aren't very familiar, so that's probably seen casually then, would be his level. But that's still a 50% chance to get us into Bilthy itself, and a 66% chance to get us nearby. But then there's still a 33% chance of a mishap at that point.
Well,
I mean, if you're wanting to chance getting nearby with the 3 of you, you can certainly try.
would make a good story.
Do we want to just risk it for the biscuit?
Yeah, let's risk it for the biscuit.
We're going straight to Bilthy.
Considering we know that we could power level and just automatically win, so technically in our heads we've already defeated all of the bad guys.
Yeah.
So now we're playing through on the harder difficulty.
Exactly. New game plus.
New game plus.
I mean, I can throw a lot at you. It will take a long time to power level that much in the Feywild, so it's not a guarantee. You could very easily die in the Feywild.
No, well, that's why we'd stick to the Lord of the Hunt.
He'll bail us out.
Take you.
He loves Talamh.
He doesn't... we're not going to get into his likes and dislikes
All right.
so much.
We'll go to Sarastra and we'll be like, hey, set us up with like gladiator battles, because you like finding crazy magical creatures, and then she'll just let us essentially train gladiator style until we hit level 20.
You can certainly try that route. I'm just saying. You're saying like you're gonna just do it, and I'm telling you right now, that's a lot of encounters that can go really bad.
Now I'm just picturing like a bardcore Eye of the Tiger playing.
I think that might be a thing.
I say we ask the Archmage to teleport us.
Sure. Throw caution to the wind.
That's like our whole deal.
There is.
What?
A bardcore Eye of the Tiger. Oh, I realized there's
awesome.
a whole program that I don't even have open.
I have forgotten I have Syrinscape open, and I have not been using it.
Oh, well, it didn't matter that I didn't have it open then.
Nope.
There. Now I've joined the game. Which, now that I've said it, I've also lost.
Yeah, so I don't know how familiar Chuck's gonna have him be, but then I guess you would have to make the roll, Chuck, if he's the one casting it. Let me see here. Instantly transports you and up to 8 willing creatures. Oh, it has to transport yourself though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so the halfling would have to go.
Or a single object you can see within range.
We packed a portable hole full of food, and we transported it into Bilthy, and now they have more supplies.
Technically, yeah, we could get inside the portable hole, and he could try to teleport the portable hole.
Oh, God. I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
I mean, I guess it's up to Chuck. I always thought that you could teleport other people with the spell, and I would totally rule that you could.
Depending on how high level he is, he could just teleport us in and then out, himself out.
Yeah.
If all three of you are involved in this or are agreed to this, we can absolutely do it.
Let's do it.
Panda?
We're going to Bilthy right now?
Where else are we going?
We could go teleport and get some other people, and then teleport to Bilthy.
I mean, we could go to Gorkill and then...
But I don't know that... Because then we have to find a way... Like, I don't know that he can cast it twice in close proximity, so we'd still have to wait like 24 hours. That's the only reason I'm saying we can't go get your mom.
Let me check what the... No, I mean, I guess we don't know like how high level he would be.
Yeah, but at most he'd only have like 2 7th level spell slots.
I will tell you he is the Archmage in charge of the teleportation circle, if that tells you anything.
Really good at teleporting. But I would do it. I would go to Bilthy, but
I'm up for straight to Bilthy. If he believes, if the Archmage thinks it's completely doable to pick up the other group and your mom and then go to Bilthy, I'm 100% down for that.
Yeah.
So we'll pose both options to the Archmage, and if he thinks that's doable, let's do that.
All right. So I rolled for that. Okay. He tells you, if you're wanting to pick up somebody in...
Where was the town they were in?
Is he familiar with Wygrove?
There wouldn't... Yeah, he'd have to be
north
familiar...
of
I just
Wygrove.
realized you'd have to be familiar with Wygrove, and we would be too many people.
Yeah.
So
But
maybe
also they're not in Wygrove, they're in the town north of it.
Yeah. So you'd have to be familiar with...
You have to be familiar with it, and there
Really
would end up being too many people, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we just go to Bilthy.
To Bilthy.
Okay. This
My party is ready.
go very good or very bad.
Yeah.
We appear inside Acolyte's tent.
I mean, there is a greater than average chance of that happening.
I before we teleport, I want to ready in action if there is an enemy, if I appear and there is a werewolf nearby,
Yeah.
I'm
readying Moonbeam.
I want to attack the werewolf immediately.
I'm readying Moonbeam for the werewolves. Alright. I know where the moon is located.
Okay.
Yep. I've got my sword out in case it doesn't work. And
You
I
have
will
your
attack
sword
it.
out in the King and Queen's Tower?
Well, in a non-threatening way, like I'm going to tell the Archmage, okay, I know that this can sometimes be imprecise, so I'm just going to get ready in case something bad happens. I guess technically you can draw your sword as part of the attack action is usually the way we play. It's just if you're switching between different weapon types that you have to spend time. So I'll have my hand on my sword, ready
There you
to.
go.
Yeah. Shield strapped to my arm.
I hold my action for the thing.
Oliver, are you doing anything?
I'll ready my crossbow, I guess, but readying spells probably wouldn't be a.
Fine. Yeah, I'll ready the staff.
Okay.
All right.
Again, I feel like we should be doing a save state here.
Quick save.
No such thing.
Sure there is.
You picked
This
the
is
one
if
thing
this goes really wrong, this is a what if episode.
See?
Nope. All right.
If we die, and the world ends.
Quite literally. Or at least goes into an age of darkness.
All right, here we go. I'm hitting it. This is happening.
Okay.
Alright.
We're in Bilthy, guys.
Are we?
Anything as far as him just having a description of the place, an 80 will succeed.
Yep.
It's 74 or higher on the worst chance, unless you can't do it at all. That worked out way better than it had any right to.
Could we have been... Wait, so could he have, like, teleported us into the Shadow Realm or something?
No, but
no.
you could have ended up where Bilthy is located. It easily could have been that you ended up in the ocean, underground, in the sky.
I can survive the fall.
None of these
We've
are
already
actually that
established-
Big of a problem.
We've already established I can survive the fall.
Or
We
in
could
the
have
middle
ended
of their
up in the,
encampment.
That would be more of a problem.
We
In the
Wait.
middle of their, oh, you know, we would have. In the middle of their camp, it would have been like, poof. We're here to cook for the boss.
with your readied actions of firing.
We're here to cook for the boss. Shank somebody.
It's the
Cannot.
It's the Sir Lancelot
believe-
thing we're seeing.
Yeah.
Cannot believe you guys succeeded in that.
Oh my god.
I'm so happy.
He was not very familiar.
Oh.
What was he?
Casually.
Casually familiar? Okay, that's what I was assuming it was casual. Which
Filthy
meant
casual.
54 or higher, so about a 50% chance. Which still isn't that bad of odds, honestly.
No, it's not, but wow.
Because off target you appear a random distance away. 1d10 times 1d10.
Chuck, you know why we
Oh, it's
succeeded,
based on the
right?
distance.
Yeah. Why?
Because of the shirt.
I want to roll a d10 to see how far you would have ended up off kilter. That's 70,
So let's see.
and that's 100.
1d10 times 1d10% of the distance it was to be traveled.
So 70%.
70% of the distance that was supposed to be traveled off target.
Is what could have happened?
Yeah. Which would have ended up with you roughly.
What's the distance?
That's what I'm looking up right now.
Oh, okay.
So 3, 6, 90, 120, about 150 miles. So
70% of 150.
yeah.
Wait, it's only 150 miles from
No,
Byfeld
sorry,
to
that's
Bilthy?
300. So 300 times 5.
Is the distance?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
so it's 1,500 miles.
Oh, okay, that sounds about.
And
That
then
sounds a
divide
lot.
We would have
that
appeared
by
1,000 miles
7.
off target in any direction.
We would have been on another continent.
In 3 directions, we would have been in the ocean.
But I've seen the whole world map. We would have been on the next continent over if we were due east.
Maybe. We just appear on another continent.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess
Is
we're
the
in another
sky
campaign.
only red on this continent or is it everywhere? We appear on another continent, the sky's back to normal. It's like, oh, I guess we're here now.
Problem solved.
Talamh, let's go start a restaurant.
Why does this guy look different now?
Oh,
Actually-
man.
That would have been a hilarious twist. We just let Fadir die. Just find a new home somewhere else.
It's always sunny in the Forgotten Realms.
All right.
Wow. We're there.
So,
Chuck doesn't have Bilthy planned because he did not expect us to try and go straight there.
All right. Well,
Bilthy, the city under siege. You find yourselves in a large city surrounded by high walls. Generally, you know that these walls are bright blue in color. But because of the light from the moon, you can look around you and they are in a sickly purple color. You're instantly surrounded by armed guards.
The symbol from King and
Yeah,
Queen.
I'm gonna
yeah, the king and queen symbol right around my neck.
The king and queen sent us.
And who are you? Says a half-orc in plate armor.
Also
I-
named Nod.
I am Ser Ridire. This is Oliver Dunwald and Talamh Dall. We're here to help fight against the cult because we hate them because they suck. Hey, has it been less than... No, it hasn't been less than 10 minutes. I was going to say, do I still have my +5 persuasion?
No, you do not. Alright, let me pull up this, this half-orc.
Pull him up by his bootstraps. Hey, Oliver, how far can you lob acid balls?
100 and something? Is it that much?
Artillery on the walls, anybody?
150 feet.
They're probably camped further off than that, unfortunately.
Yeah, they.
I'm gonna put this in all
We level up
caps.
one time. We level up one time. I take in another meta magic option, which means I believe I can make that double range. Maybe.
300 feet.
I'd have to double check the meta magic options, though, but I think there's one that doubles range.
I don't know if it works for stuff that already has far range, though.
Just gonna put that in all caps. They teleported in.
Aye, we dead.
Spell, heightened spell, extended spell,
Oh, we're gonna read
distant spell.
that.
Would this be an inopportune time to tell the boys I don't
yeah, you can
think
double
I'm
the range of the
actually
spell.
Talamh Dall? Nor
Only
have I
one-
been for probably a very long time.
Only one sorcery point to double it to 300 feet.
Wow. And that's with one level?
In one more level, yeah.
Once he gets
I get another meta magic option,
Oh,
so I get to choose
Yeah.
another one.
in one more level, I unlock my next subclass feature.
Nice.
I multi-class.
I don't.
So
I don't think I get anything in one more level. What are we, level 11
And
right
it's
now?
a really
So-
good one, guys.
I have to choose between another subclass or another meta magic option and another 5th level spell. I think I'm taking the other 5th level.
Does level 12 paladin get anything?
Ridire, roll me another persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion with advantage. 21.
Okay. I rolled a 1. Again.
Nice.
I'm rolling a lot of 1s today until it comes to teleporting, and then I get an 8.
Can we make our own like little Twitch emotes?
Yeah.
Because I would love to have the Nat 1 and Nat 20s in there as emotes.
I don't know what level, like, what...
It's affiliate.
Is it affiliate? So,
Yep.
Oh.
we need more viewers. We need more followers.
Ugh.
I don't get anything really at next level, just an ability score increase.
We
Probably
gotta level up our Twitch game.
Yeah. Like I said, I plan to stream a lot more this coming week because I'm on vacation. So...
Woo!
Alright. So, with that, the rest of the soldiers, a ragtag group, they have not slept, probably, in quite some time. It's also about 11 o'clock right now. And they say, the half-orc does stand down, sheaths his sword, and says, obviously you wouldn't mind to an inspection for any marks or signs of lycanthropy, would you?
Oh, that's fine.
We probably should mention we have these rings that we killed.
Yes, we
To
did
get
take
them?
these rings off of the cultists.
So, but other than that, there's no.
But I mean, if you want, I mean,
Lycanthrope
like
affiliation.
you can prick me with a silver. Actually, my sword is silver here. Like,
Yeah, these hand wraps that I've got, they're silvered. But inspect away.
Yeah, I mean, I'll show you the back of my neck here.
We'll take you to a holding cell, to do it a little more privately than in the middle of the street where we're scaring the already frightened
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
populace. If you don't mind, we're gonna walk with armed guard till we're
Yep.
more secure. Keep
Sounds
the
good.
peace and all that. And you hear a couple of words being muttered and a bamfing noise, and the halfling is gone.
Oh, so he was with us. Nice. So now he can get back to the back to Byfeld with no trouble because he is intimately familiar with that.
Well, he has a circle to go to.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, that's right. If you have a circle to go to, you automatically succeed with the teleport spell. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you're brought forward to the, into private chambers. You're, asked to show any signs of, to prove that you don't have any markings on you.
It was at the neck mostly, right? Was where they had them before. The, like, symbols.
That's where you've seen them. They
Okay.
do request an all-over inspection.
I've got a really sick roll for initiative tramp stamp.
Fine, off everything goes. There, are you happy?
Ridire just has on his lower back. It just says, "Can I use athletics?"
Oh no.
Nope.
Used to be a wild child back in the day.
And like just
Hey, he was
below
in
the
prison,
heart,
man. He was in prison,
Just
man.
below-
Prison tats.
just below the heart on his shoulder that says "Mom" is the
Yeah.
little cat that's hanging in there.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna walk away. Power leveling to level 20. Tramp stamps.
So, can I put my clothes back on now?
They do a thorough check. Oliver, do you remove the mask?
I would request not to.
Obviously, we're going to respect your privacy as much as we can. However, we are going to insist that you remove it. We will go to a private spot with just you and a guard if that's what's necessary.
That is, I understand, but I would request that it be completely private.
Very well. Just no funny business or we're coming in.
Cast invisibility on yourself as you take the mask off.
Can I... debating whether or not I want to do this.
He prestidigitates his face in a handsome Squidward.
Do you have the disguise self spell?
I do. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You could.
You don't have subtle spell though, so they would know. No,
I
but he
have
doesn't have
7.
subtle spell.
But I have +7 to like sleight of hand or +10 to stealth if I need to try to like sneak it. So it's
Man,
a high chance theoretically.
Just show the one guard; they're not gonna know.
It's not what I'm concerned about.
Gotcha.
Because
he actually is a werewolf. Da-da-da, da-da-da.
I'll let it happen. We'll see where this goes.
Okay.
that's why his mask has such a long beak, is to hide his werewolf snout.
All right. The guard brings you in and to a separate room, and shuts the door and asks you to go to the far end of the room.
Okay.
And with his back to the door, like close to the door handle, says, "Please remove the mask."
I'll remove it.
Okay.
We just hear a scream.
He takes a look, slightly taken aback, and says, "Thank you for your cooperation. You may put the mask back on."
Keep the mask back on.
And you're allowed to exit.
And I will exit and make my way back.
Okay.
He looks like Keira Knightley, doesn't he? With their crazy, creepy teeth.
We're not
What?
bringing up Keira Knightley's creepy teeth.
Hold on, wait, what?
I want one campaign, Zero. One campaign where that's not brought up. Is that so much to ask, dude?
I'm so confused.
It's an inside joke.
She has goblin teeth. They are so pointy.
God damn it. Well, you know my campaign's gonna have a goblin named Kira in it now.
the one that used to be my background picture.
Wait, oh goodness.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Now I understand. I'd want to hide that too.
Yeah. Oh. You look like Shark Boy.
Yeah.
Who eventually became a werewolf. Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Oh god. Yep.
They're so pointy!
Where are you looking at it?
I put it on the Twitch feed.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
no. Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So Oliver has revealed his face to somebody for the first time in
Oh my.
ever.
He wouldn't even show his face to the Queen of Witches.
Didn't want to, but I didn't really have a choice here.
Luckily, he was willing to put the good of the universe, I guess, above that.
He's got one whole pimple.
One entire acne. That's it.
I have
Mom, I can't go to the dance, Mom. I've got one whole acne on my face.
An acne is how you
I've
would
got
refer
an
to that.
acne.
All right. At that, the guard, the orc soldier, says, "Yeah, thank you for, going through all of that. Can never be too careful.
Oh, we understand.
I appreciate your willingness, and you say you've been sent here by the king and queen. Are they going to be... Is anybody going to be coming to try and get us out of this situation? What's going on?
They are amassing the forces to come and try and help. But we wanted to get here sooner and aid in whatever ways we can.
Well,
We're quite skilled at killing werewolves. Quite
thank-
practiced.
thank goodness for that. How are you with dealing with cultists? They keep trying to sneak in and infiltrate.
Do they keep blowing themselves up? They kind of take care of themselves, really.
Yeah, but they cause a lot of property damage.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so far they haven't been blowing themselves up too much. A few have here and there, but no, these ones they're just sneaking in and seem to couple at a time now and then breach our defenses, and I don't know how they're getting in, but they're definitely being a problem.
Have they come in from like the same general area, or is it?
We're not sure where they're coming in from. They just suddenly, or actually, what I need to do.
But are
is
they
send
just
you-
showing up and attacking people, or what are they doing?
See if because I had
Trying to
Gorgo
open the
planned
gates?
out. I don't have Belthy planned out. They just seem to be trying to. They've been rooting through houses. They just, people have woken up screaming that people are in their house, and they've killed a few. They've killed a few people. We stop them when we can, and some have gotten away. We don't know where they've gone. I don't know. They're just causing chaos, spreading fear.
Well, we'll definitely assist in whatever capacity we can. Have they done any large assaults on the walls themselves?
The walls have held.
Good.
It seems like every few days there's another volley of arrows and a few of those exploding cultists that you talk about have tried to breach the fences, but they're keeping a distance for some reason right now, but I don't know how much longer we can last. They're not letting any food or any supplies into the city, so eventually we're going to start running out of everything.
Do you happen to have a place, like a tomb or a couple of tombs, where, I don't know, like a couple of daggers and a sword might be held?
No, I don't.
So we have an idea what they might be looking for.
Related question. Would you happen to know anybody who is related to the Jacqueline Velisier, Oscar Zamed, or Benrik Crackbuckle?
Zamed, isn't that the Francine chick?
Yeah.
Her family's one of the descendants.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that sounded familiar.
Now, extra reason to stab her in the face.
So they definitely have one.
That didn't come through the microphone very well.
Sounds like the Sanguine Saints need to suffer some blood loss. Oscar Zamed. Aye.
Craig Buckle is, Craig Buckle owns the tavern in town. He runs the Flagging Ghost. I don't know about him being a, descendant of a great general.
It's worth a thing to look for. They're looking for what she mentioned earlier. 2 swords and a dagger that belonged to these generals. And we believe one of them is somewhere in the city that they would be perhaps starving you out for.
Oh, speaking of, I can cast create food and water. Is there a place where people are gathering for meals to pool supplies and whatnot? Church, perhaps?
Not at the moment. Most people are sticking to their houses. We've obviously declared, a curfew and trying to keep people out of the streets as much as possible so that we can, maintain order.
Yes.
To go to your question, Craig Buckle, I mean, he's got this sword that hangs above his bar, but I don't know if that's
Could be
of any importance.
It's at
To
least
the
worth
tavern.
talking to him about, yeah.
We seem to have good luck in taverns, minus this one last run in, but other than that, it's all been great.
It would probably be beneficial that we...
I mean, you're more than welcome to go, and I'm assuming
Yes, to the tavern.
you're gonna
Right,
need
to the tavern.
lodging, so- okay, and they're gone.
We're very impetuous.
Very rude. He's not following you. I mean, you guys have proved yourselves to be safe,
Yeah.
so...
Yep, to the tavern.
Alright.
Meanwhile, that guard is like trying to find his therapist to talk about what he saw in Oliver's face.
He had a
Times like
whole
this, I wish I had
acne.
modified memory.
He had an acne. I have modified memory.
Yeah, but that would be a whole different. That'd be a whole.
Do you want me to modify that guard's memory after he came out of the room? Just pat him on the shoulder. Thank you. Modify memory.
We could.
No.
Do you want to? I'll let you
No,
retcon
we
that.
didn't plan it in advance.
Nope.
So Ridire wouldn't
mean-
even think that it would be a thing to do.
this is one of those things where your characters would have may have made those kind of plans in the past. Idle conversation kind of stuff, so...
But I haven't had modify memory for very long.
We'd be like,
so
right. Oliver, what would you do if, like, you had to show your face to someone? Like sword to your throat, had to show them your face.
They would probably have to show them my face. It seems pretty straightforward.
Well, then what's the big problem then?
I don't go showing my face willy-nilly, but if I had to absolutely show my face, I would show my face. There's the difference between dying and, like, code, I guess.
Oh my god, you're the Pandalorian!
Talamh just wants to see his face so she can smooch him.
I can never see his face.
Talamh just wants to sense his face so she can smooch him.
You stop it. This is a ship that will never sail. It's icky, and I don't like it.
Hugh Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner Daredevil scene.
Yeah.
Because the early 2000s, you needed to play basketball, or you needed to have a fight in a playground if you were a superhero movie.
So your superpower is you can see things.
Daredevil and Catwoman. Two terrible movies that did the same thing.
I liked Catwoman.
I never saw Catwoman.
It wasn't a good movie, but I liked it.
Lost a lot of credibility there, buddy.
Movie doesn't have to be good for you to like it. I like Plan 9 from Outer Space, too.
And Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. A Night Train to Terror.
That one's... I don't know if I like that one, but I am humored by that one.
I like Killer Clowns.
Because of its existence. I don't really enjoy watching it all that much, but knowing that it exists makes me happy.
All right.
So, traveling through the streets of Bilthy, it's not a very large city. Roughly 1,000 people, so it's not tiny by any means, but it's,
pretty small.
Fairly small. You pass by a bronze statue with a eagle, or is it an eagle? Falcon head.
Ooh.
Male torso, warrior garb with a falcon head.
Horus.
And it's not hard to find the only tavern in town, the Flagon and Ghost.
Flagon and Ghost, I like it.
So, you're out on the steps. Do you just walk in all willy-nilly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's a place of business. We just go in.
Excellent. You walk in, and 3 corporeal figures appear before you. And each of them bows to each of you. And ushers you towards a table.
Okay.
Okay.
I will be ushered.
You're gonna...
Like, they doesn't see anything.
They just appear out of nowhere?
Yep. Talamh, you can sense the wind changing and that there is something in front of you, but the specifics you're gonna need, described to you.
I'll guide her to the table.
Okay.
There's like some ghosty things, Talamh.
Again with the ghosts.
Yeah. I don't think these ones put on plays, though.
Good.
You sit at the table, and each of the ghosts disappears briefly. And you watch as a menu comes floating in your direction and is laid out in front of you.
Cool. Can I speak to the owner, please?
You hear from the bar a voice say, yeah, I'm the owner. What can I do for you?
I'll walk over to the bar.
I will also go to the bar because I don't feel like breaking out the translation stone to read the menu.
Is your name Cragbuckle, then?
Yeah.
Do I see the sword, by the way?
Roll a perception check.
No.
I mean,
it's very distracting.
Is it not prominently displayed behind the bar?
From your angle right now, you're more distracted by the ghosts that are serving you. But yes, there is a somewhat ornate sword behind the counter.
Hmm.
And the dwarf behind the bar says, yeah, Ridire Cragbuckle, do we know each other?
Not until just now. My name's Ser Ridire. Pleasure to meet you. Wish it was under better circumstances. We've just arrived here to help with the siege situation. And
that's good to hear. That's making business very difficult these days.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, and to get straight to it, I think we know what they want.
Well, then you should probably take care of that and not be sitting at a tavern drinking, huh?
Well, it's in the tavern.
It's in the tavern. They're searching for ancient magical objects, and we believe that you are the descendant of someone of importance. That sword behind the bar there, is that a family heirloom, perhaps?
I mean, yeah, it is. It passed down.
Are you related to Benric Cragbuckle?
Yes, Benric Cragbuckle.
I have no idea who that is.
If I may, I can tell right now if it is the object you're looking for or not. I have magical means to identify it, so say.
I mean, it's just a sword. I don't.
Really, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I mean, your establishment is lovely, by the way.
Well, thank you. I mean, I don't really feel like just handing off my heirloom to a bunch of strangers.
Oh, well, he can identify it without leaving it where it's at there. He just has to, put a hand on it. But then, we don't necessarily need to take it, but if it is what they're looking for, we want to make sure us and everyone else can help you to protect it, at the very least. Because if that is what they're after, then we don't want them to get it.
I'm sure you have some questions about who we are, actually. I am Oliver Dunwald. We have just come from the capital. We have recently spoken to the King and Queen about the issues here and some of the matter, and we've been searching for these objects that they have been looking for, and thought that since they are attacking this town, that this might be one of their locations.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check. With advantage because I'm assuming...
Oh, I don't need it! That's 2 net 20s! That's the best I've ever rolled ever.
I mean,
Wow.
he technically could still not be accepted, but I doubt most common barkeeps can beat a 29.
I'm not even rolling. All right. Well, where I was portraying kind of disillusion and or just like annoyance and yeah, right. No, his demeanor is just like, you met the king and queen. Like, this is all happening. This has to do with my sword. I just. Before you know it, the sword is in front of you, and he is just taken a step back and just. Whatever you need to do, just. Please, I want to help. Anything I can do to be of assistance to the king and queen. What are they like?
They're pretty cool.
While they're talking, I'm gonna cast Identify.
Yeah. I liked them. I mean, they were a little bit stiff at times, but you kind of expect that with royals.
Yeah,
you know,
royalty and all that.
All the formality they have to like keep up to. But I think deep down, I think they're kind of nice people. They didn't seem to care about situations. Some of their advisors didn't want to commit any resources, but the king was pretty on board with saying like, no, we need to make sure people are protected. So they sent. Obviously, they allowed us to come here to help out, and then they're making plans to do some more. But, anyways, the sword.
Yeah.
Yep. Just give me 1 second.
It's a holy avenger.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Hey, I will give you all of my money.
That is a
Normal sword.
A long sword +1.
Alright.
And it is a dancing sword.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, you know that you can toss it into the air, and speak a command word, which is determined based on a tuning to it. You decide the command word. And it will hover, flying up to 30 feet, and it will attack a creature of your choice within 5 feet of it. And
I'll relay this.
Dancing swords are pretty nice. But the fact that it is magical makes me think that it is probably what they're looking for.
oh yeah, with I gotta read the identify spell again.
I learn. Let me go back to identify. You learn whatever spells are affecting the item, what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. You learn its properties and how to use them. If it requires attunement, how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. And if the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it.
Okay. I feel like with the identify spell,
usually they give a name, I think, too.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
I think giving its name would definitely be part of it.
If you know what spell created it, you essentially know like
Everything
what the
about it.
enchantment was, which
Yeah.
I would assume would. Yeah, I feel like you would know the name if it's like an artifact or something.
And so, this is known as General Craig Buckle.
It's definitely the sword then.
Yeah. This is definitely the sword that we're looking for.
The full name, sorry, full name, General Craig Buckle, third to Enoth.
Interesting. Well, and it needs to be protected.
Teleport it straight back to the capital.
Is it?
Cast teleportation circle and throw it through the portal.
The king and queen said that we had like technically to hire people, but if it was to keep one of these objects safe and it's, you know, like the person accompanying it, I don't know that we have any way to like send that message to them though.
No, but I could cast teleportation circle and we could just send someone through with the sword.
Yeah, and now that what's his face has been here.
Well, Cragbuckle himself, we could send him through. We could be like, take this to the king and queen, and like give him our pin, and then he gets to meet the king and queen.
Whoa!
As you're saying this, he's sitting there looking at you like, "Please do that, please, please. I want that more than anything."
That protects the sword pretty nicely.
Protect the sword very well.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing though. If they're using magic to detect it, so that they know it's here, like locate object or something.
If it's gone, will they just start attacking?
Yeah. What will that do to the army? Will that trigger how the army is acting?
We could gloat. We could go somewhere else, like behind them, and gloat.
I mean, I'm intending for if they attack to stand up on the walls and give them a vicious French taunting.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt elderberries.
Go away with you, so-called Asa King, and your silly English niggets.
What kind of a name is Acolyte Schlegel anyway, huh?
German. Well, one of them.
That's why it's so terrible.
Okay, fetch a lavage.
C'est Schlegel, and it se renfonce terrible.
I don't know what the hell is happening.
There's Schlegel and his terrible child in like butchered French.
I'm just worried that might. Either that will cause them to then turn back towards the capital immediately, which we don't want.
And we can harry them the whole way.
That might cause them to, they'll think that, oh man, someone's figured out what we're after.
Okay.
And has either hidden it and so then they'll push the attack immediately.
I'll tell you what. If they breach the city, then we'll send you to the capital. But until that time...
You're gonna wait till they're inside the gates?
Well,
I'm worried that if they have a way of magically detecting that what they're after is here, and it's not here anymore, or at least they can't detect it anymore, it may cause them to attack immediately before we're ready.
and we didn't want that. You didn't want that.
As long as they think it's here and they think no one knows what they're looking for, they're going to keep being sneaky and non-insanely aggressive about it. But we will help you protect your pub and the sword better now that we all know of its importance.
There's also possible that they don't know exactly where it is in the city, though. That it's here.
I'm assuming you've at least heard a little bit that there's been a few break-ins and whatnot.
Yeah,
That's probably what they're doing, is they're breaking in looking for it.
Well, then what if they break in here?
Oh, well, we're going
now that I know that I'm in danger with this, I don't want it.
Listen, the last time
if you want
we
me to
fought
hold
werewolves
on
in a bar,
we won. But
it
if
went
you want me
pretty
to hold
well
on
for
to it
us.
for you so that it's safe and you're safe, I can hold on to it for you. But I don't think it should leave the city, is my point.
I don't want it.
Okay.
it's your sword.
No, if it's gonna attract lichens, I don't care. It was a talking piece for the bar. I don't know how to use a sword.
Well, I mean, we'll take it and protect it then, and that way it's not here and endangering you.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Ridire
Anyone
has a
opposed
+1
to
long
Ridire
sword.
having a +1 dancing sword?
Nope.
Okay. I'm probably not going to use the dancing mechanic, but +1 sword is nice.
Is it? And it's magical.
Yep. Well, yeah.
So
So don't have
it's
to
a
worry about the
werewolf
silvered anymore.
killer.
Yeah. I guess I'll take the sword. Just for the inconvenience of you losing your talking point, I'll give him 100 gold.
I would give him some money, but I'm poor now.
Yeah, I'll give him 10 platinum.
I mean, thank you. I'm gonna be sleeping in the cellar tonight.
Oh, poor guy, he's heartbroken.
They didn't know it was here. They just knew it was in the town.
Right, they didn't know you had it.
We'll make sure they don't get into your pub. But I mean, still lock the doors. That's just a good.
So you're staying here tonight then, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll stay here. I'll stay in the pub tonight. I have nothing against staying. You have a room?
Yeah, it's an inn.
Yeah, we'll stay.
Okay.
I mean, we're gonna need a place to stay for the duration of us being here anyways, so.
Might as well be here.
Might as well be here.
That makes me safer. I'm okay with that. Yeah, the 3 rooms up at the top, they're not being used because frickin' werewolves have blocked off the entrance to the town.
Alright.
And, yeah, so he goes to have a panic attack. At some point you look over and he's just being comforted by a floating cup of tea, and a floating blanket comes and just wraps it around him.
Good for him.
He's having a bad day now.
Well, you had a bad day.
Nope.
No. Copyright strike.
So, we're just gonna say you all settled into your rooms for the night.
I did not mean to do that. I'm just trying to go in and put.
Oh wow! Well.
That would have been nice though.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna add the +1 to my existing sword because the only thing it says silvered in the description, but that doesn't matter because it's still the same basically.
Yep.
Let's see, where's the magic bonus?
And so as the late evening takes you and the long teleportating day, I mean, in reality, you guys teleported twice in one day.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Yeah.
For the sake of keeping the bar protected, I think we should do a watch tonight.
Works for me.
Right, I don't want to get stabbed in the stomach and to sleep again.
Yeah, so one person just stays down in like the tavern area.
Oh, fine, an actual kitchen I can cook in.
Yeah.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
Oh, waffles sounds so good right now. I miss carbs.
So, Oliver takes first watch.
Sure.
Then Ridire, then Talamh.
Okay. Roll me, each of you, a perception check and a D100.
Oh, goodness.
Perception. I have advantage, so that's a 16.
14 of 58 for me.
That's a 24.
I got a 52 for my D100.
And I got a 93.
All right. The morning comes without event, and we're gonna pick it up there next time.
Woohoo!
Wow.
He's dead.
No, he is awake. He has stress cooked and cleaned the bar.
Well, Talamh probably asked to use his kitchen and helped make some breakfast.
Love that one.
Fork, yeah.
I'm a sorcerer. Oh, so with that, we're gonna pick this up next week. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thank you for the continued support. As always, do the things. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us. Remember, when we hit 50 subscribers on YouTube, Curiosity is doing another custom character art.
We've already hit 50 on YouTube. That would be 100.
100 on YouTube. Sorry, yes, 100 on YouTube. Which is awesome. I mean, we're only 11 away, so...
Aye, 11.
And then if we hit 50 followers on Twitch, we're going to do a t-shirt giveaway. So, thank you, and we'll see you next week. And as always, may you roll those nat 20s and avoid those critical fails. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.